He's a cattle rancher and
Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Mayor Morris,
Present.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Present.
Commissioner Parsons,
Here.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation. Do we have any volunteers or? Ron,
You do it.
would you do us the honor?
Yes. Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day that you have given us, that we can gather here and conduct this city's business, and we ask that you will give this commission guidance as we look at the items that we need to take care of, and we are thankful for all the employees of the city and all the ones that have gathered here tonight, and the citizens that are here tonight, that they want to know what's going on in their community and see it prosper and go forward. And we're thankful for the beautiful weather that you have given us, and we look forward to having some moisture. Some of us want that moisture to come in the evening after our concrete's dry, but we'll take what we can get. And we just ask that you'll be with us when we leave this place this evening and guide us and help us move the city forward. And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 1, awards, proclamations, and presentations. Item 1A, Employee of the Quarter Award.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. It is my pleasure to present the very first Employee of the Quarter Award. This quarter's recognition focuses on community impact, recognizing an individual who has shown outstanding dedication to citywide events and planning, someone whose work actively strengthens and uplifts our community. The recipient of this award has gone above and beyond, not only making minimum contributions to the community, but also showing a collaborative spirit. I am proud to announce that the Employee of the Quarter for Community Impact is Mandy Reed with the Tourism Department. Mandy, your contributions have a meaningful impact on our community. Your commitment and hard work do not go unnoticed, and we are very grateful for everything you do. She couldn't quite make it on time today, so, but I have her award here.
Do you want Sally to come up in the meantime?
Sure.
Except on her behalf. She is stuck in traffic. So we might have to get a picture during our comments later.
That should not happen in liberal Kansas. That she's stuck in traffic.
Never.
And she'll be here in just a minute. You can take a picture of her.
It's all right, we have
Thank
a long proclamation, so if we have time.
We'll bring her back up.
All right, thank you. Moving on to item 1B, Professionals Municipal Clerks Week Proclamation. So this proclamation will be for the 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 4th, 10th, 2025. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk in a time-honored and vital part of local government exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas the professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, whereas the professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now therefore, I, Jose Lara, Mayor of Liberal, do recognize the week of May 4th through May 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Alicia Hidalgo, and to all the professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. This one's a nice one.
Alicia also has good news to share. I would like for her to go ahead and give that out. Yes, so at conference last month in March, at our spring board meeting, I was sworn in as the president of the CCMFOA of Kansas Municipal Clerks Board. So I am the president for CCMFOA, and I have the privilege and honor of carrying the Kansas state flag at the IIMC International Conference next month for the state of Kansas. So thank you all for allowing me to attend meetings and education and teaching classes. So thank you very much.
Again, thank you for all you do. We will move on to item number 2, approval of the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Parsons and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any
Mayor?
further discussion?
There was one correction on the agenda for the vouchers on item 14A, the date.
Okay, as amended.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Parsons to amend the agenda on 14A to ratify 40825 vouchers by Commissioner Parson and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. All in favor? All against? Now, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Have a motion to approve the agenda as amended by Commissioner Parsons and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We will now move on to item number 3, the minutes.
Do you need two motions or one?
Whichever you,
You can do
Okay.
it just in one, just do it in one, it's fine.
Okay,
Just
I'll make a
preference vote.
motion that we approve the March 11, 2025 special meeting minutes and March 25th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? 5-0. Motion passes. We will now move on to item number 4, items from citizens, but before that, we will go ahead and accept the Employee of the Quarter Award.
I'm not going to do the speech again, but I want to present this award to Mandy Reed. Like I said, this is our very first Employee of the Quarter award that we've done. So we want to thank you for everything that you have done, your contributions to the community. So if you want to come up and receive your award. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This time, we're on item number 4, items from citizens. Will there be any items from citizens tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 5, items from groups. We will begin with Greg Standard from Seward County Emergency Management.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name's Greg Standard. I'm your emergency manager here in Liberal and Seward County. And I'm here tonight to invite you and ask for your attendance at a G402 Incident Command System overview for senior officials class, which is going to occur on May the 20th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will be providing lunch at that point at the Seward County Events Center. The target audience for this is executives and senior officials, including elected officials, city county managers, agency administrators, etc. The purpose of the course is to familiarize senior officials with their role in implementing and supporting incident command or incident management within the National Incident Management System. Executive seniors officials, including elected officials, city and county managers, agency administrators, etc., are encouraged to attend. And at the course, we're going to explain the National Incident Management System, explain management characteristics, the organizational structure of the Incident Command System and the role of the Command and General Staff, explain the attributes and purposes of emergency operations centers, explain the interconnectivity between the MAC group, EOCs, and joint information systems, and Incident Command, and explain the senior officials' role in preparedness and response. I think that probably covers it. It's, I think, incredibly important that you do your best to make time to attend. I think you will learn some things. I feel confident of that. I think that it will be well worth your time, and I think that it will help us as we go forward in our mitigation and planning preparedness activities here in Seward County and the city of Liberal, that you guys are on board and maybe better understand where many of those issues, where many of those endeavors are headed and what we're trying to accomplish. Right. If there are any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This time, are there any other items from groups? Please step forward.
Well, we're with the 4th of July Committee, and we just wanted to come tonight to share with you that we're planning a 4th of July celebration again this year with a parade and a day in the park. If you guys give us permission to do so, we want to keep this going. This will be our 3rd year of doing the parade and then having the day in the park as well. And I hope, and maybe Brad can speak to it, we try to leave the park in the condition that we found it and keep up, and we want to be respectful to the properties. We certainly want to use this year to build for next year, because next year's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And we've been reaching out to some other groups to plan to hopefully make Liberal the Southwest Kansas celebration. Next year, it's on a Saturday. This year, it's on a Friday. But we just want you guys to know that we appreciate the support we've had in the past for the 4th of July, and to continue to do that, and hope that you guys will support us to allow us to do that again this year. And so we just wanted to make you guys aware that we'll be making that request and filling out the paperwork and getting that turned into the city, and to see if there's any questions you might have of us.
No questions. Just want to thank you guys for all of your hard work into putting the celebration together. I attended last year and saw a lot of families really enjoying themselves. And then the pageant is also a plus. You have a lot of young individuals who look forward to it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And we just want to say we miss Doug Munsell. He was on our committee. He passed away last year, and he was a patriot. He kept America. He wanted everyone to know about it, and was just positive. And so we're sorry that we've lost him this year. But we want to keep the tradition alive, and we appreciate your support and help to make that happen here in Liberal. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
At this time, are there any other items from groups? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go on to item number 6, the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
A second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Vice Mayor Landry. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item number 7, quarterly economic development update. Eli Swati.
Good evening, Commissioners. I try to always be positive, and so tonight I'm going to give you some positive. I do have some not positive things, and then I'm going to end with some positive to try to come away on a good note. So first, for the first time, I went and enjoyed pickleball the other night, and I got to say, I'm not TikTok where I'm going to run out and buy everything pickleball, but it was fabulous. We were there Easter evening. The place was packed, and it was just a great time. So kudos to the city for putting that on. And I do want to say, as I was there, everybody was telling me that, hey, it's going to be muddy, there's water, the city said we're going to oversee it and get it going fast. So the information is getting out about that as well, so kudos on that side of it. But if you haven't played pickleball yet, it was a good time. I highly recommend. Now, let's talk about economic development. So much has changed over the last couple of months. And for someone who is hyper competitive and doesn't like to lose, it has been a brutal couple of months. Not to say that we've lost everything, but it's been a slog. So I want to update you on some of those projects tonight. Outside of kind of the city scope, but something that's been on your radar for a while is the Sapphire Renewables project. We had a significant groundbreaking ceremony last August. Well, the primary ownership of Sapphire Renewables was Southwest Airlines. If you follow kind of the global Southwest news over the last year, they have had a new board of directors and new leadership. That has created some major changes to the airline, but also to all of their other programs. That included Sapphire Renewables. So that project is not done. However, it is just kind of in a holding pattern, to use kind of airplane terms for right now. They're still working on permitting, they're still working on engineering, but right now they don't have their significant ownership. So if you know of any companies out there looking to invest in a renewable jet fuel project, please let me know, because there still is Department of Energy funding that was kind of locked, but that's freed up now. So that is, because it was a previously awarded program, there is still the funding available on that side of it for that. But groundbreaking officially was supposed to start in March, and that's on hold until we have new ownership there. So let's kind of first hit. Then, as administrations come and go on the federal government, priorities change, and that causes kind of ripple effects on that other side of it. So because of that, our large retail project has lost our anchor store for right now. That, again, does not mean that the project is dead and we've lost everything. However, we are kind of pivoting now, and so we are working to secure a new anchor store to work on that whole retail development. The good news on that side is that it's just one store, and there are other options that we can look at. The other good news is that the inline stores that were committed are still interested. They have not walked away on that. And there are some additional opportunities that we're hopefully trying to work because of that. Some of the other stores we're working with had concerns about logistics and where their nearest distribution centers were. So maybe there's opportunities where we can get a distribution with the store there. So we are still very much active on that project because, as you know, there is a lot that we can do if that happens, not just with that particular project, but a potential Starbond project that goes with that. So that was kind of hit number 2. And then hit number 3 occurred just last week when we received word from Air Products that due to geopolitical uncertainty, they have decided not to start their project at the Airport Industrial Park. So that one is really the only official confirmed the project is no longer active. So the good news out of that one is that they were very complimentary of all the city staff, everyone that they'd worked with through all of the departments, and that had been more than a year-long project on that one. So it was not we lost to another city. It was more of a looking at the bigger picture. They're just not going to invest right now. So at least that's what I'm telling myself at night when I go to sleep, that we didn't screw that up. It was just those decisions. So that's kind of where we are on that. Some good things have come from some of these changes, though. As it happened, we've found ourselves in conversations with some foreign countries that are looking to reinvest in the U.S. because of Department of Defense contracts, because of potential tariff threats, because of geopolitical turmoil in their regions. And we are actively working on those opportunities. We were able to host several large conglomerates from foreign country in Liberal. It just so happened to be that it was Pancake Day, that they made the long trek to Liberal, and if you remember Pancake Day, it was blowing 80 miles an hour all day. One of them did very sweetly ask, "How do you live here?" And it was in jest, but we were able to kind of talk through how that was kind of an anomaly. But they are very interested in energy in the Southwest Power Pool and where we are geographically in the country, so we are seeing some opportunities there. Because we're kind of their front line of access into the U.S. on that. So we do have some opportunities on that front moving forward, and we're pushing really hard on those. We're also looking at some potential logistic opportunities. I know in the past there have been conversations and efforts around transload facilities, utilizing the fact that we have the railroad here, we have large industry partners here that are moving goods in and out. And so we're trying to kind of restart those conversations to see what opportunities there are there, not just for our existing industries, but if we can build out a facility, how does that attract additional industry to our region? So those are kind of some of the projects we're working on right now. We will, if you've seen any of the news lately, The conversation with wind is again hitting Seward County on that front. So we're excited about that opportunity finally. I mean, those leases have been in place for almost 15 years now. And it's been one of those, when will it finally get to Seward County? And so we had a good meeting the other night at Planning and Zoning and have had some good feedback. I will stand for any questions on that. I know there's been a lot of information out there, not all of it accurate, so I would be happy to answer any questions if you have any on kind of the accuracy of what that could mean for Seward County and Liberal for that wind development. But those were kind of where we are on that front. To talk specifically about the Development Corporation and the office and to end on more of a high note, I do want to talk about some of the successes of Raquel and Tomas in that department right now. So Raquel continues to focus on the entrepreneurship side of it and new business startups. We've had, through our Network Kansas portfolio, we have a little over $550,000 loaned out to small businesses in Liberal and Seward County, which is phenomenal. That's almost 30 businesses right now. We continue to see new growth on the small business side. So as some of our larger industrial projects are kind of against the ropes, small business growth has continued to be steady. And we have some in the manufacturing, some that have started new restaurants, some that are working on other just kind of retail businesses too. So it's exciting to see that. Raquel is part of this Leadership Kansas cohort with Keeley as well. And so it's good to have two voices from Liberal to represent us on those. And it's going to be exciting to see what they can bring back for that. And then Tom Reynaga joins us now as a part-time role in the financial services section. He comes from 20 years of banking, first at First National and Equity and then at Bank of Plains. And so his role is really loan preparedness for businesses as they try to go and get financing, but more so, how do we break down their books and make them more successful? How do we get their cash flow up? And so he's had opportunities recently to kind of get some businesses in and open up their books and work through that. And it's really a very intimate process with a business owner who's willing to sit down and say, all right, here's everything. These are my finances. Where's this leakage? And it's great to see someone with that financial mind be able to kind of work through that process with them and hopefully give them some very clear goals on what to do moving forward to make them more successful so that all of that hard work and all of that skill that they have in that particular business can then kind of come full circle with more money in their pocket at the end of the day. So we are looking then over the next 30, 60, 90 days, one, to be a little bit more proactive on the industrial side as, we're seeing some of these tariffs hit. What does that mean for a lot of our local businesses and make sure that we have resources there on the state level and even locally to make sure we can support them through this process, but also then on the small business side because there is that ripple down effect. So that's kind of where we are in terms of the Development Corporation. I'm happy to answer any questions about that. I apologize that I did not have just awesome news across the board. It's not fun to not always have great news, but that's where we are. It's the reality of it, and we're going to keep fighting.
We should also mention that Apex is on a 10-year contract with us.
Yes, I did not mention Apex. So Apex, in conversations with Apex Clean Energy as of last week, that is why they talked about this in terms of 5 to 10 years. They wanted to be able to kind of ride through that. And we are working at some potential parallels and some new opportunities there between Apex, between Air Products, because Air Products as a company has been in the hydrogen business for more than 40 years. They're part of a huge investment in Saudi Arabia right now in a hydrogen production facility. So we're looking at some potential partnerships, maybe with investments that Apex can bring, but also the expertise that Air Products has as well.
Well, thank you for the transparency. I mean, the info, good or bad, is great. Either way we look at it, and I think that's super important that we have that level of transparency, and the job that you're doing is absolutely amazing. So I'm sure I speak for all of us that we love it. It's great.
It is. It's one of those.
It'll get better.
It's one of those jobs you don't want to say anything because no
Sure.
matter what, it either happens or it doesn't happen, and we'd rather just say, "Oh, it's a surprise! Look what happened."
It'll get better. It'll get better. It'll get better for sure.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, just thank you for the updates. Very informational and good for the community to hear as well.
Okay. And I'm going to duck out. So if you had any questions, now was your chance because I have to drive tonight. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
This time we'll move on to item number 8, resolution number 2433, abatement of the vehicle nuisances in Liberal.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I'm here this evening to abate several vehicles around the city. In the month of March, we put out a lot of junk vehicle violations, and the majority of them, they took care of them themselves. They had them hauled off, or whatever, but these are the stragglers that I'm asking you guys to pass this evening so we can get these abated. And I'm betting probably about 90% of these, once I slap that on their cars, they're gonna take care of the issue themselves. And this will not be charged to us, as a city, the towing company. This is between the towing company and the owner of the vehicle, of the property.
So James, what's the process going forward when we approve the resolution tonight?
When you approve this, I'll get the copy of it and I'll put it on each vehicle. I'll wait 10 days. 10 days, the vehicle's still there. I call up one of our tow guys that's on call for towing and have it towed away.
So they've had 10 days' notice before today, right? I'm assuming, prior notice,
Probably about 30.
30? So then, and then another 10 days after the
Yes.
resolution to fix the problem, so.
This all started in February, March, end of February
Okay.
and March. We had probably 50
Okay.
other vehicles, and then this is what's left.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2433 regarding the abatement of vehicle nuisances in Liberal.
I second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Parsons and a second by Vice Mayor Landry. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? All in favor? All opposed?
Thank you.
5-0, motion
Thank you.
passes.
Thank you, James.
Thank
Thank
you. Moving on to item number 9, mower purchase for street department.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. The Street Department is requesting the approval to purchase a 15-foot mower from a John Deere tractor, not to exceed to $20,000. This mower has been with us for quite a few years already, and we need to repair it almost every year. Last year, we had to wait for a part to come in, and we wait for about 3 months. So we tried to avoid that this year, to having that and having that little bit more reliable equipment. So at this point, got any questions?
No, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the purchase from Keating Tractor in the amount of $20,000, or not to exceed $20,000, from the 1% sales tax, streets, drainage, and other capital improvements for the 15-foot mower.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? Any
Just
discussion?
so you know, I'll abstain from this vote.
Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 4-0 with one abstaining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 10, adoption of mission, vision, and value statements.
Mayor and Commissioners, tonight we have for you proposed adoption of our mission, vision, and value statements, which have been redrafted over the last 4 to 6 weeks by city leadership. Our current statements date back to the mid-2000s, which is very, very long time to go without making some updates. We feel that it's time to make those changes that better reflect our current strategic goals, as well as sentiments of the community that have been shared, especially over the process of getting our comprehensive plan formulated. We have collected a lot of community feedback and want to be sure that our stated values really represent that. And so for you tonight, we are looking at the 3 different areas here. And for the benefit of anyone listening and those in the audience, I'll go ahead and read these out loud. So our new proposed mission is to provide an exceptional quality of life for residents by nurturing a healthy economy full of opportunities, creating a safe and connected neighborhoods, and embracing our diversity to foster a positive and welcoming community culture. It's a one sentence statement, very concise that way, so we appreciate kind of being able to bundle a lot into that one statement. Our vision, which is more of a future tense, is Liberal is a socially and physically connected community full of opportunities for all residents to prosper and enjoy generous quality of life resources. We are known for our welcoming mindset and work hard to achieve our community goals through innovative thinking and involvement from our residents. Liberal is an attractive and safe community where residents choose to live, work, play, and grow. And finally, our values, which is the way in which our city staff and our leadership want to carry out our work on a daily basis. So our values are community collaboration and engagement, integrity and transparency in decision-making, adaptability towards changing needs, fiscal responsibility and effective operations, respect for diverse perspectives, professionalism, and service excellence. And so I did have in your packets an example of what was used in the past. They were quite a bit more lengthy. And so as we drafted these, again, we wanted to keep in mind some of the new changes we felt like have come about, but also wanted to reflect our long-standing values and statements as a community. So we worked to try to get those simplified and concise so that they're easy to communicate with others. It's easier to keep everyone aligned when we have statements such as these put forth. And so we're recommending tonight adoption of our new mission, vision, and value statements as presented.
Well, I'll make a motion that we adopt the new mission, vision, and values statements as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? Any from the public? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? 5-0. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will move on to item number 11, city staff.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce the code enforcement staff. This is Daniel Fosdick, and he works the weekends and Fridays, and then he'll work Mondays and then half a day on Tuesday for his schedule. And this is Jonathan, and I'd like to give you a report of April. April, we had 335 cases opened, and 4 of them were stop work orders that Daniel caught during the weekends, and then 9 garage sale permits, non-permitted, that he caught on the weekend. And then we had several appliances, trash, some more junk cars, parked in yards, and several weed violations. And we weren't able to start the weed process until after the publication in the paper of April 6th. You have to wait 5 days. So starting the 14th is when we went long haul, we went crazy on it. And so far, we've mowed like 30 properties since Monday, and then being off Friday. And we're staying busy. We're just out there and wanted you guys to know what we do and who we are, and this is your code enforcement. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can always get a hold of us.
I don't have any questions, but I do want to give them a huge recognition. So I actually had an encounter with you over the weekend. He stopped by my garage, so but I've heard nothing. He was very respectful, very informative, and I've had Also, positive comments from other people who had garage sales who didn't get a permit. But everything they've had to say is that you guys were very kind, very generous. You explained all the information to them. And I saw you guys out in the community all weekend working hard. And so I just want to give you kudos for all of your great work this weekend.
And another thing about the weekend garage sales, if they're not permitted, Daniel, a lot of times, he will go ahead and issue you a permit, so you can keep on going with your garage sale. So that'll be one of your quarterly ones. And, he doesn't just tell you, pack it up, get it
Yeah.
inside.
And those are some of the comments that I did hear, that they were very understanding. And some of the people didn't know that they had to get permits, but they were just very understanding of the process. And you guys were very kind and
And we try
allowing
to
them to
inform
have
them, you
their
know,
garage
and be
sales.
nice and courteous with them.
Yeah, but I heard nothing but very good comments over the weekend.
And we appreciate you all.
And with that, I also had another concern, and so, I mentioned it to you guys earlier before. But basically, the way the ordinance states that you can only have a garage sale every quarter. And so for me, it didn't make sense, because that technically holds you to have 2 garage sales in the winter.
Keith is looking into that, and he's trying to make some changes. I might be talking over him.
No, you're fine.
And that 4, he's looking into maybe 4 per year.
Yeah,
Instead of quarter, who's gonna have one in the
that's what I was saying, like,
winter?
who's gonna
I
have one
mean,
when it's freezing cold in the
freezing
winter,
cold, and
so.
you wanna have a garage sale?
There's a few, but not many.
Not many.
But it would just be nice if we could change it to 4 a year versus 1 every quarter.
And they're looking into that.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions?
All right,
Appreciate your work.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, I have a small solar update for you. Thank you to Tim for putting the numbers on the screen. For those of you who wanted a paper copy, you do have one right in front of you there. If you want to just take a look at this lower portion here right beside the chart, we do just have 1 quarter right now to report, but I do also want to state along with that 1 quarter, I do believe that the numbers can be skewed a bit with operations starting and weather, and so, turning your air conditioner on and off, things like that. So I still really think that we can give some grace for these numbers with weather and operation overhead increase. But for January, just year over year, we had a savings of $3,429.40. February, we didn't have any savings that month, unfortunately, but back in March, we had some significant savings of $16,231.15. So the chart there, you can see it's linked to these numbers here. So over time, as we get out throughout the year, you'll see that that chart will kind of even out, and then I am very hopeful that it will start to go up. Like I said, there were a lot of operational pieces, I'm sure, that came into play with these numbers, especially with dealing with December, the end of the year, and getting these up and running. And so that's just the first quarter, but I'm staying positive for what the next quarters look like, and I'll bring those to you.
Were we able to find out why there is a double in cost for just that month
For February.
for wastewater?
We haven't. I have reached out and awaiting, we probably need to have a conference call, because wastewater is our largest solar farm that we have. And so we are looking into that. I just spoke with Kristen at Southern Pioneer earlier today about a couple of our contracts. So we will follow up. I thank Kristen for her time in putting this together. I tasked her with this a couple of months ago, and she delivered. And I think this is a very good overview of where we're sitting, and hopefully we'll start to see trends that are more in the positive direction, and it'll kind of show us where we've been and where we're going. But it's very important to us that we're transparent about it. And it'll take a minute to get a return on investment here, but we want to make sure that we're communicating this out. But we will follow up probably at the next meeting regarding that question, because February's numbers are a little odd.
Yeah, because all of last year, and I mean,
Right.
this has been up for a while, stayed pretty constant at 20,000. And so to have that just for 1 month double, it's really odd, especially on power usage. Unless we brought up an entire office for 1 month, so, yeah. Not like water where you can have a nice leak of power for a while, so Yeah, if you could investigate that one a little
Yes,
more.
no problem. We will have that ready for the next meeting for sure. And then we will report on this quarterly to keep everybody apprised of the progress.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Brad? Oh, boy.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mayor Commissioners, what I gave you as a handout is a road that we are wanting to vacate. It's not a platted road, it's a makeshift road that was done a long time ago. We had talked to Ron Prentice with Janitorial Supply. He has no issue with that road being shut off there. There's no business between that and down by the well. There's I think Merit Energy or one of the companies has a little business there in that corner. Like I said, it's not a platted road. The platted road actually comes along Best Well Service and goes straight north and connects to that curve and goes around. We have had in the past, we've had multiple rollovers from high school kids shortcutting it to school. So we want to vacate that part of that road. So I just wanted to let you look at that, and we can discuss it at the next meeting if we need to. A couple of things, I'll give you a splash pad update. So everything's been seeded, we're watering 3 times a day. Hoping to get seed up, and as soon as we get a consistent temperature, we will turn the splash pads on. I'd like to give you a date, but if I do, they're gonna try to hold me to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna give a specific date, but as soon as the grass gets up and we get a consistent temperature, we'll turn them on. And they'll be on from whatever time we set in the morning until nighttime, every day of the week. So there won't be no shutting them on and off unless it's, later in the nighttime. Pickleball courts, obviously you heard Eli's, shed light on those. I was over there about a week ago, watching my granddaughter play softball, and those things were just consistently being used, so I think it was a good project. And it was seeded also. We did get our Randall, pond permit in the mail yesterday.
Oh, good.
So as soon as we can figure out some logistics on getting Chewy's crews lined out to do different projects, we'll probably get that started. There's been Chewy's crew did some sidewalk updates around the rec center. And I don't know if you've driven by here at nighttime, but we've had some lights replaced. And it looks really bright, and hopefully people feel safer walking around the building. It's not so dark. We did have our airport inspection. I don't think I've been here since then. So I'm not gonna lie, last year was a disaster. This year was really good inspecting. We got a couple of painting issues, which we're gonna have every year because of the time that they come, right after we push snow and we lose some reflectiveness, but, he's got almost everything that they told him to get in line by a certain date done, except for the painting, which we'll get on that pretty quick. So it was a good inspection. I know it's not my area, but I'm gonna bring it up because this is Keith's department. But just so the public knows, there's about 20 Vivint door-to-door people in town. So if you get calls, they all should have badges on them. So if they don't, they're not licensed to be out there. That's all I get.
Okay.
Got a few things. So you may have noticed, especially on social media, we have started some marketing for our airport. It looks to be pretty widely received right now. We've got a lot of good compliments on that. We found that there were dollars available to us for marketing through SkyWest that we had just never used. So we are now making full use of those dollars. I'm really excited about that. You know, I think that we've continued to grow, and I think this is just one more way to get our name out there. So we're excited about that. We did launch Monday our resident report tool, which is a new tool which allows, using our current website, residents can go in, they can enter just basic information, their name, phone number, address, email if they've got one. They don't have to create a user login or a password. They can go right in and fill out a form if they see something that needs to be addressed. Maybe it's a pothole, maybe it is a street sign that's been run over. You know, some of the basic things that, you know, they happen and everyone drives away. And, you know, we just don't happen to find them before someone else does. This allows residents to go in and report what the problem is, where it's at. They can check mark a certain category box, and when they do that, what it will do is generate an email notification directly to our administrative team, as well as the department head that is over that area. So street concerns, water concerns, those messages are all directly routed. What the problem is, where it's at, who called it in. Gets sent to email, super easy, is very mobile friendly. I kind of just happened to stumble across the solution while I was working on something else and said, hey, we've been looking to do this for a while. So we built that form out. Hopefully it's easy for everyone to use. We've had a great response so far. We've probably had about a dozen people reach out with, some were, you know, one was a fire hydrant that looked like it had maybe been run into and was leaking. We were able to go and fix it that day. So those are the types of things we're looking for. Some were general comments that we said, yeah, we could probably make that improvement there. So I think it's been really effective. It's one more way for our residents to be able to be involved in the community and making it better. And we really do appreciate everyone who's been using it so far. So that's available at cityofliberal.org/report. Super easy to remember. So we're excited about that. We will have our housing programs coordinator, Erica, at the KSCB Home Show this weekend. Along with all of the other home improvement things, we will have her there talking about our housing programs. So our home repair program, the wastewater fee waiver that was just passed, the new fence program that we have going on now. So what we've done is put together information, one-page handouts, English and Spanish, that she can be able to, you know, talk with residents about some of the things that are available to them that maybe they just didn't know about. So I think that's going to be a great opportunity to really showcase what we've been doing to help assist those existing property owners and our residents. And finally, myself and Eli went to a KDOT meeting in Dodge City this morning. Just an update on some of the work that they've done so far in their study, which is looking at the mobility and expansion of highways in Southwest Kansas. It was very enlightening, seeing the data that they had pulled, accidents and fatality rates, truck traffic. It's exactly what we were expecting. So they're going to be relying very heavily on numbers and data, as well as community feedback, when they look to put together their priorities and their prioritized list of things that need to be done over the next few decades. And so I feel really good about that process and really good about what they were able to pull out in terms of data to really support the cause of perhaps making some improvements and investment in US 54. So, great. I'm happy to answer any questions on that or talk later about highways. It's been really enlightening, so.
Any other city staff? Any questions from the commission? No. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to item number 12, the city manager's report.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, a lot has happened since we last met. I feel like it's been a minute since we were not able to hold the last meeting due to several of us being in DC. I have several updates for you. First of all, I hope that what you have witnessed tonight shows a commitment to excellence and ownership of everybody's work, as evidenced by all of the people that presented today. I told my leadership team this morning that whenever I've taken over struggling companies or programs of which I was a coach over, takes a good year for everybody to come around to the idea of change, to maybe stop saying, well, I was doing this before, why do I have to change now? Then it usually takes a good year after that for everybody to totally buy in, get on board, and carry that water and move forward towards the same goal. The vision statement, the mission, the values, that's a start. We're definitely going to get that put up on the wall where we view it every day, and we are committed to excellence. We are raising the bar around here, which was much needed, and I am very open to all these ideas and all of these brains coming together to make Liberal a better place. So first of all, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the Capp family. As many of you know, our city bus director, Rodney Capp, passed away over the weekend. He was a huge part of our team here, and you can never replace people like Rodney, but his memory will live on in our hearts. And I am committed, personally committed, to making sure that I make this new bus facility the best that I can, and that it gets completed according to his standard, because he was very invested in that. Through all of his health struggles in recent months, he kept telling his family, I have to get back to work. I have to see the bus facility completed. So all of us who have been involved in that project are committed to making sure that that happens for Rodney and for his family as well. He positively impacted a huge amount of people. Keely and I received an email just today from the Assistant City Manager of Dodge City and their bus transit coordinator. Rodney oversaw this year, him and Marie, the Regional Transit Council, which KDOT farms out to different communities, and they were overseeing that this year. And so more than just Liberal had a chance to work with Rodney, and he impacted several people in a positive way. So I want to make sure that his family knows how much he was loved and appreciated, and we will surely miss him. Also a reminder that although City Hall closes at 11:30 on Fridays, we will close the bus routes from noon to 3 in order for Rodney's staff to attend his services on Friday. That was very important to me that we make that happen. So we have put signage up, we have it out on social media and our website, but in order to honor his legacy, we most definitely are going to do that. Also, congratulations to Mandy for receiving our very first Community Impact Award. I've had the pleasure of working alongside her most recently at the Pancakes at the Capitol event in Topeka. I don't know Mandy very well, but in that hour and a half that I had the pleasure to work beside her, I found her very passionate about Liberal, very committed to her job, very engaging and energetic, and I absolutely love that about her. She's a great recipient of this award. I also learned that you're from California, right? Yes. Okay, so I love it when transplants come to Liberal and actually like it here and want to stay. These are the best types of people to promote our community. So we typically invest in this grow your own mentality, but we'll also take transplants like Mandy for sure. So thank you for your commitment to excellence as well. And Sally for finding her however you found Mandy, thank you. She does great work, not only in our city, but outside of that with Pancake Day and different events in town. So thank you. Also, thank you to Keith, James, Daniel, Jonathan for your work in code enforcement. I know it's not an easy job. Sometimes there's confrontation, there's tough conversations, and I appreciate your work on that. I started noticing several months ago when I would come in and work on the weekends that there was a red truck in the parking lot, and I thought, who does this red truck belong to? Well, it belongs to Daniel, and he's committed to working that weekend schedule, of which we needed somebody to fill that gap, and I hope that you see what kind of work he's doing as a result of that schedule. Thank you to Keith for being open to hiring somebody with a schedule that's a little not like the others. Also, HR and Rec will be working together over the next few weeks to solidify and onboard our summer staffers. It's a very busy time of year. It's a big undertaking. We appreciate their work on that. Again, we have this grow your own mentality. So our commitment to summer staffers is basically we want them to work here in the summer and then maybe stay or come back after college. So we invest a little bit of time and energy into them in hopes that they will like Liberal and make it their home permanently someday. Also, Brad didn't mention this, but thank you to Parks team and Candy, who's also here, for having another successful tree match season. We sold out within a day and a half. It did not disappoint. We moved that operation from the rec over to City Hall because Candy is now working with us as our administrative assistant. I think you sold 125 trees in a day and a half. Wow. Okay. Just making Liberal a more beautiful place, one tree at a time. So thank you for that. And we move forward and continue that program. It is extremely popular. I think if we ever got rid of it, there might be a riot. So thank you for taking that on and bringing it with you when we transferred you. Also, I visited with Jane at the front desk right before I came, and she has given out 249 spring cleanup coupons. Just want to remind everybody they can pick those up with her by showing their utility bill, and they can do that through the end of May. You can drop off a lot of things, but you can't drop off larger possessions, paint cans, tires. Okay? We want to make sure people are utilizing that and helping make Liberal a better place again, helping our teams that work in alleyways and streets and cleaning up our properties and taking pride in what we do here. And finally, I have good news. I've started to schedule a bi-weekly meeting with Police Chief Chet Pinkston in order to share information and stay updated on different things. The nature of both of our jobs is fairly serious, and I want to make sure that we are staying in constant communication and know what is going on. We feel like we have good news to share. We did make an offer that was accepted for a hire in his department, and that person actually brings a spouse who is a licensed teacher. So that was also a great deal for the school district. We love it when that happens. So thank you, Chet, for helping the public in two ways, not just one. And we hope that we can start moving in a solid direction there. And I appreciate his openness and willingness to work with me and establish rapport with me so that we can take care of Liberal. And that is all I have for tonight.
Any questions from the commission? Thank you, Scarlett. At that point, we move on to item number 13, items from commissioners. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Okay, Ron, you want to go ahead? Thanks, as always, to staff. Having you guys here tonight just is a good reminder of how engaged and involved you are with what you do, and it's we very much appreciate what you're doing. Thank you to Eli. Having sat in that chair for a number of years, I know there are not always good days and weeks and months involved with that, but I know he will persevere and continue working hard. He does a great job, and I want to thank him for his efforts. Mandy, congratulations to you. We really appreciate your enthusiasm for Liberal, and keep it up, even though there's not a reward in the vying next quarter. So anyway, thanks to code enforcement. Appreciate all you do. I've gotten several calls from members of the community about, what are we doing to make Liberal look better and neater. And now when I get these calls, I have numbers that I can give back to show that we're making not just an effort, but a strong effort to keep Liberal clean. And so I appreciate what you guys are doing. It's not an easy job, I know that. So appreciate it. And then finally, condolences to Rodney's family. I had a lot of conversations with him over the period we were working on that bus facility. I know it meant a lot to him, and I would really like to see us do something as a tribute to him, maybe in possibly naming that facility after him. When it comes down time to it, I think it would be a great reminder of what effort he put in on that. So anyway, that's all I have.
Vice Mayor?
Excellent. Well, thank you to all the city staff as always. Condolences to Rodney's family at the top of the thing. I did not know Rodney, but I know the work that he had been doing, and I think a definite impact in the community and the city staff. The employee recognition, Andy, first one, so congratulations. I think this is going to be a huge hit. When I first had heard about this, and it was a discussion, I just thought it was just a great idea to really bring up the morale of people inside, to really recognize, because sometimes you don't get that. And this is just something it's billboarded that you've just done a great job. So congratulations to be the first one, and I look forward to seeing everybody further as we go down the road. To Eli, great information today. I know he's really working hard on the things that are taking place inside the city, and you can see it. I mean, I'm sure I don't know if that guy sleeps. He may just sit there and spin his mind all night long on what he can do, and every time is a challenge. So to Keely, she does the same exact thing. I have a lot of conversations with Keely. I think her mind spins nonstop too. So Love the new mission, vision, value statement. I think that's great. It compacted when you take a look at what it looked like compared to now. Just summarizing where we're at and just that transparency of what's there. I think that's a great thing. Washington DC, we went to Washington DC, great conversations, great relationships, a bonding moment that I think I'll take with me probably for the rest of my career. Anybody that sits here that didn't get to experience that, I would challenge anybody in the future to go to it. I look forward to maybe having another opportunity to go. But for the relationships that I built in DC, the relationships of the people that I was with and the conversations that I got to have, timeless. It was a great, great moment. So absolutely great. Other than that, I don't think I have much. Enjoyed the warm weather, excited about the splash pads. I hear a lot of people are talking about that. I mean, that is something that I'm definitely hearing a lot of. People are super excited about it. I've had people ask me, when is one gonna go in on the north end of town up there? We really want one up there. So maybe something that we have to think about in the future, right? So, but other than that, Scarlett, thank you for the transparency as always. Great communication. Never leave anything that we don't have to ask. So have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you. Ron?
Well, yeah, I'd like to thank all the staff too. It's nice to see so many of you here and committing time that, you're not necessarily required to be here probably. Some of you are, some of you are not, if you don't have items on the deal, but we appreciate seeing all of you here and seeing the interest, because lots of times we don't, I can remember when we didn't see many, and it seems like we see a lot more now than we did, and I just want to say again that, we're thinking of Rodney's family and a hard time, and we're thankful for what he did, the things he did for us, and it'd be nice if we could do something that we're not going to forget the effort he put in, and maybe we can commemorate that, and that would be nice, and that we're thinking of his family and at this time, and want to congratulate Mandy for when you think of all the employees that, like I said, we're excited about what they do, and then to be singled out, that's special, and we appreciate all of the employees, and Alicia and her board, I don't want to say board, that she's in to become president of an organization, a state organization, is quite an accomplishment, and we're really proud of you. That's quite an accomplishment. I guess we're getting used to having excellence in our employees, and that's something that would be nice to get used to, but we're not going to always expect it. We're always going to be excited when it happens, I think. So we appreciate the extra effort that the staff puts into that. And code enforcement, you couldn't have really a tougher job, I don't think. So, and less appreciated sometimes, especially by the people that need code enforcement. But thanks for what you guys do, and it's kind of nice to see that we do have somebody kind of watching on the weekends, because I think that's where a lot of that stuff gets snuck in on, as far as, I guess, on those building projects is what you were talking about, shutting some of those down. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, because I think that's been going on for years, and there's nothing we ask that much, that people just do things in the right process. There's a process, and there's a reason for that process, and that's the way it should be done, and that should be the consideration they should take for their neighbors, so.
What's good about it is when he goes out and he catches them as they're doing it, because before we'd come back Monday, it's already built.
Yep.
How do you get them to tear it down when it's already built?
Yep. So that must be a tough job there, and like I say, it's nice to see that we're finally doing something there, because I know a lot of it goes on, and it like I say, it's never really bothered me as a contractor when somebody did it, other than the fact that I feel like it's inconsiderate to their neighbors that they didn't go to find out if they were doing something that they were allowed to do or not. but appreciate that. But just thanks staff for all you do. That's all I have.
I'm pretty excited that we have a full house. It's nice to see a lot of caring individuals that care about our community. And then also all of the people that tune in online, every time I look, there you have at least 15 people engaged. And then IT, of course, for allowing this to happen. I feel like they deserve the recognition as well. My condolences to Rodney's family. As soon as you guys were sharing all of the great things he's done, I was kind of thinking the same things Jeff mentioned about doing some kind of tribute or maybe naming the bus facility after him. But I've heard nothing but positive things about him. Also, congrats to Alicia. I feel like you've been winning awards since I got on the commission. You're setting the bar high, but I do want to congratulate you for becoming president. And Mandy, congratulations to you as well. Very hardworking individual, so you deserve it all. I also want to thank Eli for the update and his transparency and letting us know where we sit with projects. We did go to Washington, D.C. recently, had some very meaningful and engaging conversations, but do want to give some recognition to Senator Morand and Representative Tracy Mann for meeting with us. I am actually still in conversations with the staffers with Senator Morand's office. They're looking into seeing how they can help us with cybersecurity. So there's a program called CISA where they can basically do a full assessment and help us with grants. We're happy to be able to have these conversations ongoing. Also want to thank Candy and Earl for putting together the 4th of July celebration. I know it's been a hit, and there's a lot of hard work that goes involved in putting a celebration together, so we do appreciate your volunteer in that. The airline's ad I thought was very catchy, so it is getting a lot of traction because I've had people mention, I didn't even know Liberal had an airport, which is crazy to me because I thought everybody knew. But it is getting a lot of traction, and I've heard really good comments about the ad. Code enforcement, like I mentioned earlier, we appreciate all of your hard work. We know it's not an easy job, but we do appreciate it. And then the parks team, so I visited several parks on Easter weekend. They were completely packed. But I heard nothing but positive comments, and I had really never spent time at the Mehuron Park, and I just decided to go because I never really spent time there. But I heard nothing but positive comments about they're very happy with the playground upgrades, with the splash pads, and so it's just really nice to see our community engaging in the positive comments and basically all of the hard work that the staff puts together to have these parks be clean and accessible to everybody.
Okay. I mean, we've said it multiple times. In reality, it's a thank you to all the staff and everything you guys do. It has, first, the condolences to Rodney's family, and again, a big thank you to him for everything he's done during our time here. I believe there were multiple times where we would have dignitaries from KDOT, different executives come in. We would call the city to see, if we could get one of the buses. And he wouldn't put an employee up there to do it. He was the one who would drive us around, take us everywhere, and make sure that we got where we needed to go. And he's also one of the employees that I got to see the most, always walking in and out, always a smile, maybe a few different kind of words, but it was always a good word. So he was great to have with us and everything he did. With the staff, I mean, I think today was a perfect example of we're getting things done, we're doing things the way they need to be done, but we've also added a softer touch to what the community is getting to deal with when they deal with the city. We are definitely focusing a lot more on the customer service side of what needs to be done, but addressing the problems that we have. And I just want to thank everyone who's been involved in that. Many of our staff have been with us for many years. You guys have received many of awards. I'm not even going to bother singling anybody out in this case because we have so many great people that have I'm on my 4th year, have really transformed the feel that is both the City of Liberal and the City of Liberal staff and how the community gets to interact with us now. And again, thank you for continuing to improve everything we have and how the community sees itself and the staff. That's all I have for that part. Thank you for all you do. Moving on to item number 14, the vouchers. We'll start with 14A.
make a motion that we ratify the April 8th, 2025 vouchers in the amount of $1,750,217.85.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Parsons. All in favor? All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. 14B,
I'll make a motion that we approve the April 22nd, 2025 vouchers in the amount of $1,459,949.27.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. All in favor? All opposed? 5-0, motion passes.